We're gonna make this pretty simple. Um, there's so many things out there, and I'm kind of an advocate right now of Progress Book because all of our parents are fairly well trained on Progress Book, and I don't know how well everybody uses Progress Book to their advantage. Chris and I just wanted to point out some things that maybe you were or were not aware of, but I could say that it's probably the most used thing by our parents. Mm-hmm. And I don't know about you guys, but I feel like whatever we can do as educators to keep parents in the loop, it's an important thing. Many of them feel intimidated by teachers. It's an unfortunate truth, but absolutely a truth. And so I feel like if we can give them things to make them feel more comfortable with school, I think it helps them feel more a part of their children's education. And many of them do want to help. I know there's a lot that don't help, but I know there's a lot of parents that do want to help. And many of them express to us, and I'm sure all of you have had that, I'm just not very good at math, or I'm not, I wasn't very good at school, and blah, 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 blah. And I sympathize with those people anytime they sit down with us at conferences, and I get where they're coming from. But I think the biggest message to send to them is, if you show that you're interested in what your student is doing, that's the biggest part of making them more successful. You don't have to know everything about what they're doing. It's just being
mindful of it.
What's going on in school. So I think Progress Book offers us some things that are beyond just getting the grades. And a couple of years ago, we did some parent things, and I kind of taught the Progress Book rotation to the parents, and a lot of parents were happy with knowing that there was more out there. So I just wanted to share with you, you all know this. This is really easy. You've seen this. You see it every day. And whether or not you use this way, I'm just going to show you a little how I use it, and our team does as well. Just click on second periods.
Whoops.
Now, maybe you are aware of or not aware of, but the View Parent Access, this is what parents see when they log into Progress Book. I think it's sometimes nice to know what it looks like from the other vantage point. That was kind of neat when Mr. Smith added us, all his students, to his Google Classroom, because I'm used to seeing it from the teacher side. So that was kind of cool. Originally, Progress Book and the Parent Student Access automatically came up as grades being the default, and that always bothered me. I know that's why we have it, but to me, that's what I tell parents, that's a reactive parenting device, because once the grade is posted, it's kind of too late. And so now it comes up in the planner portion, and I think that's an even better thing, because at this point, what you can do is you can, as a parent, see, I'm going to go down to, these are all Kristen's posts, so I'll let her talk about that.
For my posts, I just kind of, most generally, it's just like 1 or 2 sentences of like what we did that day. And I call it daily update because that's what, when I first got here, Terry was like, oh, I do daily updates every day. So I just say exactly kind of what happened during the day. Yesterday, we went through the online practice test for math. Students reviewed the various tools they can use to help them out for the test. And we worked on released items from the 2016 test. And then it's kind of cool when you post, it's actually posting a homework is what this is called. But when you do that, you can post a link to it. And then, so I posted the link, and the kids or parents can get on, and the practice test is right there. So the link to what you would log in to view all of those testing questions. And then any homework assignments I can post, or what I have to do a lot of times for the math textbook, we can't, due to copyright laws, we can't upload and like take a link to the video or to the workbook online, but I can at least post like, this is the page that we were on, and the kids can get onto their own online textbook access through their username and password. So I have to do it that way. But if there's any other worksheet or anything that I've created, you can post it on there. We just passed out our reward day letter, so we posted that on there. And I put the due date is May 31st. It'll keep showing up until May 31st in their planner, so they know that that's something they do. Terry's is a little bit better on her end than on mine, but no, but so I just do like a little quick synopsis, but she does a lot more than that.
I just feel like when students are absent, we do have those kids who get very stressed out and have anxiety when they're not here. There's lots that don't really care, but there's plenty that do. And I feel like when you teach them from the very beginning that this is a tool that they already have in their toolbox, they have access to it. If you put things there for them, it will make them feel more comfortable when they come back. You know, many times Kathy or Tammy will ask us for homework and whatnot for kids that have been absent. And I always want to just write see progress book.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't do that because I know not everyone has access. But literally all I do is I have an update every day, and I just literally print this off and take it to the office. So I mean, it's really something that I do all the time for kids. I just give a real quick summary and then I just post it to this. And Kristen said, you know, obviously you can post many things to it. If you go back to, let's see, I should just do it this way. I should use my technology. Got this out for the reason. The only thing we have here though, and I want to go up to the top, that's what I want to do. Okay, these are all drop down arrows, so when they log in they won't see, you know, all that. They can just drop down what subject they want to look at. But like Kristen said, there will be announcements that you can put in there and whatnot. If I go back to where we are, okay, you would go to the post homework, which probably some of you do, some of you don't do. When you go to that, when you go to that link,
Can I click on it?
go ahead and click on it.
Oh, there it goes.
All right, what you'll do is you just add a new home, and you can just see that I have a daily entry, okay? You just go on to that.
And it doesn't have to be like an actual homework assignment. We just use it as an update of what has happened. It doesn't necessarily mean it was an assignment that was due.
Like I'm going to show you something, and I'm going to sit at my desk to do it. We recently received some things from the CTC about summer camp. And so that's something that I wanted to post, and I just thought I would kind of leave it for now. So I'm going to just put MV CTC summer camp opportunity. So when you go through, you title this whatever you want to title it, okay? And like Kristen said, that goes through the end of the school year. So I'm just going to go out to the end of the school year and put that as the due date. And actually, I think there is a due date for a deadline for the application. So I will probably go in and actually change that. But I would want to put that out to all my classes, excluding my study skills group, okay? And then I would just say check the link, the attachment. Oh, if I could spell it would be even better. So at this point, you've got it saved, okay? But when you save it, of course, I don't know if anybody else has noticed this, but Progress Book does a lot of wheel spinning lately, so patience is a virtue. Up here, you've got the tabs where you can actually either send it to specific students if there's something that you want to do, much like what we saw with Google Classroom. I typically send it out to everybody, but you can pick people that you want to send it to. For attachments here, this is where you would go to enter whatever it is that you want to attach for the parent to be able to see. So you just put in a sequence number because there may be more than one, and then you just title it camp application.
And you have to do this and hit save before it gives you the option to upload. I remember when I first learned this, I was like, I don't understand where I'm supposed to upload it. It's not working. But then once you save it, it gives you the option to upload an attachment.
Exactly. Now, what I have learned over the years is if it's something that I don't mind if the student gets into, you can upload it as a Word document. But typically, I want to just have it something that they can view. So you can do it either way. Right now, I'm going to minimize this. And if I don't know, probably you're aware of how to do this, but some people may not be. For example, this is the brochure that Liz sent to all of us science teachers actually, a career camp. It's basically just a Word document that they send. And if you were to send it to them as a Word document, they can edit it, they can change it, they can do whatever. What I typically do if it's something I don't want them to do that with is I just go to File Save As, and then I go down and I turn it into a PDF document. Call it the same thing, just basically Save As, go File, Save As, and then you have the option of saving it as a Word document, or in the drop down there are many other ways. I just go down and I select PDF, and then I just, right now I would just save it either to my Google Drive. I could put it in my Google Drive, I could put it in this year's folder. I just kind of keep stuff that I have for the year and keep it there. So once I've done that, and I've saved it, okay, what I can do then is go back to Progress Book and then upload the attachment. It allows you to choose a file, and I would go to my Google Drive. Sometimes I'll just put it on my desktop so that I don't lose it. It's whatever works for you. And then you just find it here wherever I saved it. I'll just pick a PDF just because I think I might have saved it in a different drive. Let's just pick this one. Then when we upload it, then you can just view the attachment, and it's there. So parents, when they go back to the dashboard as it spins.
I think it's already open up top.
Oh, yep, here below. There it is. Okay, we can go back here and see where they have, let's see, under science, there we go.
And it normally, while she's looking for that, it normally keeps like a week's worth of assignments, homework, updates, whatever. Like it keeps that current week up, and then you can always navigate back through, which is something that I need to get better at doing this. Terry does an awesome job with this. I give in, and like if a kid says, I need a new copy of this worksheet, it's like, here, take the copy, whatever. But I need to get better. Terry does an awesome job. She says, get on Progress Book, it's there, which a lot of my assignments are there. I'm just like, here, take a copy, get it done, whatever. But Terry does a nice job of making them be responsible. Log on to Progress Book, you find the assignment, you print it off or put it on a separate sheet of paper, whatever, but it's there, you take responsibility for that.
So when the parent scrolls down in my particular part of the feed, they'll see this, check the attachment for the summer camp opportunity, and I'll probably enhance that with a little bit more detail, but then they can click on the actual application, it downloads it, and they can open it up and check it out, do whatever they want with it. They can print it out, they can call me and I'll make them a copy, whatever. But the other thing that I have found that's kind of nice too, in addition to just doing this as a daily thing, and I know Janice does a really terrific job of doing hers weekly. So you don't have to do it on a daily basis. You can do it on a monthly basis, you can do it on a weekly basis. But I think it's really nice for parents that when they can look in and say, I know kind of what you're doing in class. And they might be able to just say, you guys have some sort of a Greek and Latin thing going on in English. Tell me about that. It doesn't mean that you have to know anything at all about Greek and Latin prefixes, but at least the kid's like, oh geez, how do you know that? It just, I think, makes the student understand that this school thing is more than just a teacher. It should be like a community. And that's, I think, when we give parents that kind of tool, they feel like they're more a part of things. Because I don't know if you guys have had this comment, I'm sure you have. Once they get to the middle school, I never see anything that comes home from school unless they need money. So, I mean, that's pretty much how it goes. At least then parents don't have to dig stuff out of their book bag. They can just go here, find out what's going on, and then it's more proactive than reactive by finding out the grade later. The other part of this that I have found to be very helpful, and this is coming to you as a parent. When I first started teaching, you're the teacher, you're in charge, blah, 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 but you change a little bit once you become a parent and a teacher. I don't know if anybody else feels that way, but I started to be a lot more, how do I help my kid? How do I know what's going on? and it's frustrating when you don't know what's going on. This tab down here for class information basically has a place where, as a teacher,
My picture's
you
not
can go
showing
in
up.
there and you can upload. You kind of have your own little web page, if you will, but it just gives the parents a little bit of information. You can personalize this however you want. You can make it a one thing that you do at the beginning of the year and never touch again. But over on the right-hand side, obviously you have contact information, but as a parent, if I'm trying to figure out how does that crazy Mrs. Mangan really do this stuff, over on the right-hand side, I've got all the things that kids lose that they might want to have access to later on, and I don't want to provide extra copies. You know, I feel like I give you one, you don't need another one, you can get it right here. So this is just a bunch of stuff that I've given to kids as whatever. You know, from the beginning of the year, the handout that I give them the first day, the grade worksheet that they get a new one every quarter that they lose sometimes, they can get that. Copy of the daily routine so that parents can say, oh, that's what she expects you to do when you come into class. That's why you have a tardy, or you have a detention for being tardy. How to get on Remind. You can put anything there that you want.
Like yesterday, I added the reward day letter there too, so that we wouldn't have to, technically you wouldn't have to have it as a homework assignment that's reposting every single day from now on. I posted it on there too, so whichever way works. Yeah.
Exactly. Now, I would love, you know, sitting there with Google Classroom, I can see doing this in Google Classroom. I mean, I really can, but let's face it, parents use this because it gets them to their grades. They're not going to go to Google Classroom as easily yet because it doesn't have their grades on there. This is what we already have them on. They're trained, we pay for it, it's there. So it's just something to think about. It's not something you have to do, but I think it's kind of nice as a parent to sit down and say, click and say, all right, there's some extra things here that I at least know or have a little idea of what's going on. And I'd be happy to answer questions. I know I went through that quickly, but does anybody else have things they want to throw out? Rhonda?
Are you able to link your Google Classroom from Progress?
Yes.
If you can put any link, I'll show you what's next. I didn't move down because I wanted to show you the adding the attachment, but if I go to where we were here, you can do a link too. So you can post a thing that says, go to Google Classroom, click on the link, and then you'll get the assignment there too. So yes, you can do that as well. So it's all here that you would enter in as the teacher, then it would show up as a link on the parent-student access. And remember, both parents and students have access to that. So, you know, it's really nice for the kids, again, if they forget what you said, they go home, they get on their Progress Book account, they can check it. So I don't know, I know that at 7th grade, we give them a letter where they have their own registration key. Do we start that at 5th and 6th grade? Do you guys give them, I'm not sure, I'm not aware, I should know that. So I don't know when, maybe 7th grade is the first time, Dr. Williams, you know, do we just start that at 7th grade here?
For the students to have.
In terms of students having they can get their own Progress Book access.
I think it gets mailed home in 6th grade.
Mailed home in 6th grade too?
Okay.
So, very good. And like I said, at some point, there's a parent access and they have their own separate one because they can hook all of their children up to it. But one individual student can have
their
his
own.
or her own, which would not be then linked to their siblings. So some parents just let their kids use theirs, which is fine too. But anyways, they would both have access to this. And like I said, they're already there. They're already doing it. So
A couple other things that we don't know if you are aware of. The grades tab, like Terry said, is more of a reactive, but I like using this, especially in intervention. A lot of times we'll give them like a day, work on any missing assignments you have. And oh, I don't have anything missing. Well, I know for my class what they have missing, but I might not know what they have missing in social studies or language arts. So you can go to the Parent Access website and click on grades, and then you can see every assignment oh, yeah, you do have something missing and you need to get that done. So it's a quick, easy way for us to see like an intervention or study skills or whatever. If you've got a kid at some point in time that says they have nothing to do, maybe they don't have anything missing for your class, but they could have something that they could be working on for another class and get it done. And it eliminates, go check with Miss Albane to see if you have anything missing in her class. Like, we can just see it right here. They don't have to leave the room. Boom, we're done. So that's something that we can, as teachers, we can see. We have to go in through the parent access. You can't see their grades in like the regular homework. Oh yeah, this is important too. It automatically pops up as the first kid in your roster, so you would have to change it to whoever, even if like you were on a different kid on your teacher page, it'll automatically pop up to that kid. So a lot of times when you log in, if you don't change it right away and a kid's standing there, they're like, oh my gosh, I have an F, and it's like, no, that's not you, and then they flip over to your,
I have an A.
yeah, and like, nope, that's not you either. So, yeah.
That's what I use my tablet for, is I'll put progress book on my tablet, go to this page, and then I can go from student to student, change the screen and say, okay, here's what's going on. I just show them the screen part. Which one do you want me to expand? Is there one you want to take a look at? They'll open it up and they'll go, oh yeah, I didn't do very good on that test. But see, look how really well I did on this or that, the other thing. So it's just, again, a nice way for them to see their progress, which is really awesome.
And a lot of times the kids can log on and see this, but sometimes if they don't have it set up or they forget what it is, it's just a quick way you can do that. And then, are you all aware of how to print off a missing assignment report? Do you know? Does everybody? Okay. This is a good feature too. I do these like at least once a week. So it's in the reports.
This would be from your, this is your dashboard here, down at the very bottom. It's got a pop-up menu, and you would just go to missing assignment reports. Okay, Kristen, I'll let you go from that.
Okay, and then hit run. And then you have to select whatever classes. If you want all of them, you hit the control, is it control?
Yep, control.
Control, and then select all the ones you want. You'll have to go down and select, it's automatically defaulted to quarter 1, so you would have to select quarter 3. And then I just hit run the report, make it as a PDF, it's fine. And then you get a list of any kid that it has to be marked as missing though. You can't on like when you go to your grades and you're entering grades, if you don't check the missing, it won't come up as a missing assignment here. It just marks it. Yeah.
So you would have to make sure that that particular box
is checked. And normally, like what I tell my kids is everything, if I don't have a grade for you right now, it's missing. Now, a lot of kids get freaked out about that because they're like, oh, I was absent and I missed a test or something and it's going to be late. I just mark it as missing because then when I print the missing assignment report, it'll show up. And it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a late grade, or if you were absent for a couple days and you missed a homework assignment. Well, you weren't even here when we did it originally, so obviously you're going to have some more days. But I just mark it as missing, so it lets you know, it lets me know, because we post our missing assignment. Terry posts hers on the outside, but I post mine on my red cabinet. It just lets you know, lets me know that that's not completed, it needs to be done. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be late, you're going to be penalized, but that needs attention, and that'll show up in the report.
And I think our 7th graders are really well trained to look for those lists because when we put, they're out there.
They're looking
it for their name.
Yeah.
The only thing I do not like is that it does post their grade. And I've commented to Progress Book numerous times about that.
Have an option.
There needs to be an option where you can actually print the missing and not have the grade. I used to go through with my black marker
and mark them
and
out.
You know what?
Now I'm like, if you don't want your, yeah, then get it off. That's what I do now. Yeah.
But I keep, maybe if all of us keep giving them that message, that maybe they'll do something about it. In their little.
Well, and I used to black it out, and they would still, like, they'd go up and still try to look and see. And I'm like, okay, that didn't do anything, so I might as well just not even waste time doing that. But yeah, it has to be marked as missing in order for it to show up on the missing assignment report. So.
Does anybody have any other interesting things about Progress Book to share? Because like I said, it is what we have, and we got people that are well trained on the parent end and student end that can use it. Chris?
This is more of a comment. We stole this from Terry and the 7th grade team, but they spent like a day or a class period at the beginning of the year, and they emailed, so we stole this, it was a great idea. She emails Deb Teeter to high school. She gets all the passwords, not the passwords, but all the, can't get
Registration keys.
registration keys and what their usernames are. And it's time consuming, but it really helped us this year. And we just set on and, you know, at the beginning of the year in one of our classes and made sure they could all log on. If not, we got them a registration key or we reset passwords. The unfortunate side of that is you can't get their passwords. They have to do a reset, or if they cannot remember their login name, they have to do a hard reset from Ms. Teeter in high school. So it was really helpful. We got a lot more kids on Progress Book. So I don't know, something you guys want to do in your TBTs, like assign someone at the beginning of the year to make sure all the kids have access, or at least re-give them the access that they lost from the letter of the summer or something.
And
then-
always ask, you know, like if you're on the Chromebooks,
Yeah.
is it okay if I
If I
check
check Progress Book?
Yes,
Yeah.
go right ahead.
Yeah.
Please go ahead and check what you're doing. I have no problem with that, so.
And in addition to that, Terry does a nice job at the beginning of the year of just walking through, like, okay, this is where you can see, like, where we post what's going on, and here's how you download an attachment. And of course, you have kids forget, but at least we talk about that and show them all of that because they might not be aware.
Question. When you did that, did you just do that in social studies, or did each of you do that in your own homeroom?
We kind of discussed who would do it. I just did it in social studies, but it was something, a vocabulary word we always use, we're using, like, hey, Mr. Little's gonna do this in class.
Yeah.
It was when they were working on Science World one day, I'd call them up, who doesn't
Yeah,
have
you
one, I've
did.
got your registration key, they'd log it in, they have a secret page in their planner where they're supposed to, where they're supposed to write their username and password. And I will say, Debbie Teeter needs
Awesome.
much accolades, because all I have to do is say, so-and-so needs this, and if you send them what they want, if you send Debbie, what do they want as their username and password, she has it done. I swear, she
Like,
must
yeah.
work 24/7, but she will email you back right away, it's done. I'm like, oh, she's my hero. But anyway, she's awesome at
Awesome.
taking care of that for parents and for students. I cannot compliment her enough on what she does. So anything else that anybody else would want to throw out there, because like I said, for now, and I don't know, Dr. Williams, you're probably over there going, yeah, we're not going to use this anymore, but for now it is what we have, you know, and I'm just waiting for you to say, okay, Terry, I'm going to change this up on you. That's okay. I mean, I think in our near future, this is probably where we're staying, right?
Well,